I want to welcome everybody to the public hearing on the proposed 2016-17 Rutherford County budget. With us tonight, we have Mayor Burgess and the First Lady, Ms. Burgess, with us, our Finance Director, Lisa Nolan, our Assistant Finance Director, Mark Tucker. Our Budget Committee is all present here. We've got our Vice Chairman, Charlie Baum, Commissioner Robert P., Joe Frank Jernigan, Sean Kaplan, Rhonda Allen, and Doug Schaefer, all with us tonight. And we've got several other commissioners and at least one school board member with us tonight, and we appreciate you all being here. On the 2016 Rutherford County budget, the county mayor provides recommendations on 21% of the consolidated, I'm moving faster than the slides, okay, right, of the consolidated appropriation budget: the general fund, solid waste sanitation fund, ambulance service fund, special purpose fund, drug fund, industrial development fund. The county mayor does not make recommendations on the debt service fund, the highway fund, general purpose school fund, the cafeteria fund, and educational capital projects fund. The Budget and Finance Committee have reviewed and made additional changes and has made their recommendation to the public. All our meetings have been televised on Channel 19. Of course, they're open and the public welcome to attend. Details on all the budget and on all the budgets are on the Budget and Finance webpage at www.rutherfordcountytennessee.gov. The budget's been published in the paper. It'll be presented to you tonight, and we'll accept public comments. I don't see a great crowd of people who will speak, but of those who do speak, we're here to listen tonight. We will not be answering questions. We'll take any questions under advisement, and the Budget Committee will meet tomorrow night, and we'll address any questions that are posed to us at that time. Presenting the Rutherford County budget at this time will be our Finance Director, Ms. Lisa Nolan. I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to start with the property tax rate, and end of the story is that there is not an increase to the property tax rate being proposed. However, there are changes to the way the rate is being distributed, with 2 cents coming from the general fund, 5 cents from schools, with 1 going to the capital projects fund and 6 going to debt service fund, but maintaining the $2.68 tax rate. This is just a visualization of tax. With education, capital projects and education, 50% of our tax rate goes for schools. Our tax estimated revenue for the current levy is based on assessments of $6.6 billion and public utility properties valued at almost $205 million. This will produce an estimated $175 million of tax. Of that, almost $12,700,000 going to the city of Murfreesboro city schools. That's equivalent about 19.5 cents. Of that, $1.29 for education will go to city of Murfreesboro. We talk about the pennies. What are the pennies worth? And you hear us talking about this from time to time. A general penny is $653,000 and a school penny $555,000. That difference is the split between the city of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County schools based on ADA, and there's about 85% of it goes to the Rutherford County schools and 15% to city of Murfreesboro. Our proposed operations in total, estimated revenues are at $516,569,000, with $529,236,000 being the appropriations as being proposed. That leaves us a little short of about $12,666,000. So how are we going to fund, or where does the money come from in all these budgets? So I said 31% of it is coming from the current levy of the property tax. The state of Tennessee provides 41% of our budget. This is just the dollars where the money comes from. Again, of the sales tax, 11% of it is funded by sales tax. Again, 40% state revenue. And where are we spending it? Like I say over and over, education takes up most of our county budget. When you consider the debt service component of education, where we pay our debt service, that makes up almost 76% of the entire budget is related to schools. County general, we spend a lot of time talking about it, but only represents about less than 18% of the entire budget. Our debt service between the two components, education and general, debt service makes up less than 9% of our total budget. So how are we going to take care of this shortage of our appropriations being being more than our revenues? We're estimating our beginning assigned and unassigned balance of all funds at about $113 million. With this reduction of $12.6 million should leave us about $100.7 million left at the end of the fiscal year. The numbers to the right in color is our test of policies, and we meet all our policies. Some of the highlights, we talked about the general fund being less than 18% of the total budget, but of the general fund, public safety makes up the vast majority of that appropriation, 57%. Just some of the significant items in our general fund. I'll just touch on some of these. There are 44 full-time positions and a reduction of 6 part-time positions. There's no increase to the employee salary base table, and 2 cents of the property tax being transferred out. So we're relying on fund balance of $7.49 million, and that's equivalent of 14 cents. On the general purpose school fund, the appropriations are $13.9 million more than the amended budget in the current year. They're adding 105 positions, includes an internal auditor and bookkeepers. Their budget also includes 3.5% to the base table for both classified and certified employees. Again, we talk about moving 5 cents from the GPS budget, again 4 to debt service and 1 cent to the school capital projects. But there is an increase of $4.2 million in the educational sales tax and an increase of $15.3 million for the BEP. The school board will be relying on almost $6 million to balance their budget, equivalent of almost 11 cents on the tax rate. So that's just a pictorial. State's paying 58% of the school board's budget. And this is all 3 of the budgets that are operational for the schools, it being their major operating fund, cafeteria, and their educational capital projects. Of the educational capital projects, some of the things that they plan to do are to correct some and improve some HVAC mechanical systems at 4 of the schools, some re-roofing projects at 4 of the schools, and paving projects. Road and bridge is a small component of the overall budget, but I don't want to leave them out. They are overseen by a separate board, governing board. It's not unusual that 57% of their budget is spent on highway and bridge maintenance. You see an increase in their capital outlay from the current year to next year. That has to do with a rehab of the Weekly Lane Bridge, though of that, 98% of it's going to be funded by the state, 2% local. They maintain 60 positions. They've done that over several years. This budget does not include any increases in personnel. And they take care of 970 road miles. Our debt service, split between other general, administrative, general, and education, so you can see that. This is our principal balances of what we owe. At the beginning of this fiscal year, our principal balance was $359,770,000. We paid off almost $29 million this year. We go into next year with $331,340,000, and our planned retirement for next year is $28,180,000. So our existing principal debt at the end of next year would be $303 million. However, we do plan to issue debt August, September of about $113 million, which is why there is the proposal to include 6 cents into this fund. And that concludes the overview. Our budget is out on the web. It's been on the web, so you can find it. Go to the Rutherford County Finance Department, and you'll see over here proposed budgets by year, and the public can see all the detail.
Occurred to me when I did the introduction, I didn't introduce myself, not that that matters, but I'm Will Jordan. I'm the chairman of the Budget Committee. We'll have our public hearing now, and we'll ask whoever wants to come speak to come to the podium, state your name and address for public record. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. If anybody doesn't feel they have enough time to talk, when everybody's had a chance to talk, we'll let anybody come back and speak for an additional 3 minutes until everybody's satisfied and had an opportunity to say what they want to say. So with that, we'll open the public hearing, and anybody who wants to speak, feel free to come forward. Going once. Going twice. With that, we will close the public hearing. And I want to thank everybody that could have spoken at the public hearing. I will say that it does bother me personally a little bit. We're talking about a $529 million, over $500 million budget, and nobody from the entire county of 280,000, however many people show up to say a word. I mean, that's a little bothering to me personally. But with that said, I will move on. We're having a meeting tomorrow night in room 205 at 5:30 to discuss the public hearing. The meeting has been advertised.
Have things to discuss. The school.
Have some other stuff to discuss anyway. And then we will meet June 21st on a Tuesday at 5:30 to recommend a tax levy and appropriation resolution. And then the full commission will meet in this room June 27th at 9 o'clock to do the whatever business, and to, at that time, and to hopefully adopt the budget. And I will remind the Budget Committee members here to bring the document that the Board of Education handed out the last meeting, because that is their updated information, and we do need to bring that for tomorrow night's meeting. And if there's nothing else to be said at this point in time, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.